So this little guy, or big guy, 1.4, I mean, I guess that's the grand scheme of it, who does not actually look like that, which I actually find quite ironic that that's his latest video. I mean, he has this sense of, I'm doing the world a justice by letting people know how awful everyone is.
Well guys, we were about due for one. Every few months, somebody I make a video on decides to make a response video to me, and since I am forever doomed to have to be right about everything I say, I must respond to them. Now, is that something stemming from my childhood? Probably. Is that something we're gonna explore today? Absolutely not. About 2 months ago, I made a video titled The Most Narcissistic TikToker on the Planet, where I talk about this woman named Bethany who made a series of TikTok stating that pretty people have it much harder in life and have to endure things day to day that ugly people would never understand. That's a pretty bare bones version of what the videos were talking about. If you want to understand the full situation, I will link that video in the top right corner. I feel like you should probably give that one a watch before watching this one, otherwise you might not really understand the context. But a couple of days ago, somebody sent me a video of Bethany responding to the videos I made. Now normally, when people do this, I like to respond to them again on my channel. This is for one main reason, and it's the reason I started doing YouTube. The reason I started making videos like this, where I'm taking a video or a topic and saying this is what I think about it, and this is what I think people are getting wrong, is because I used to watch creators make videos on things, or people talk about things on the internet, and get it so unbelievably wrong, and the concept that I could never address all the people who saw this video and agreed with it frustrated me. So I tried to find an outlet where I could try and address these people, and that's why I started making these kinds of videos. So I only find it fair, now that the roles have been reversed, that if a person wants to respond to something I said about them, that I show the people that I said those things to originally what this person has to say in their defense. I don't do this to start drama. I don't do this to be like, hey guys, go bombard this TikTok account with hate. I do it because I know how frustrating it can be to not be able to voice your opinion to people who need to hear it. So, with that being said, let's see what Bethany has to say. Let's begin. Please subscribe.
Hey guys, it's Bethany, or you may know me as the most narcissistic TikToker on the planet. So this little guy, or big guy, 1.4, I mean, I guess that's the grand scheme of it. Off topic. Anyways, this guy, who does not actually look like that, which I actually find quite ironic that that's his latest video. Anyway.
Alright, so Bethany, I don't think you know what the word ironic means, which is demonstrated by you not explaining why this would be ironic, which is going to be a theme in this video, guys. Not trying to set her up for failure here, but if you're looking for an argument or a response where she explains what she's saying or backs it up with anything, you're not going to find that. This entire video is basically her just saying things and kind of wanting them to be true, I guess.
Anyways, AugustTheDuck made a video about this video that I made. Yes, I did save my own video. About warning the attractive people of the attractive people problems, and maybe hearing these problems would make them realize, oh wait, I might actually be attractive because this explains why people treat me. But yeah, I kind of fell off the face of the planet for a bit after that, and I've been focusing on other things.
Did I miss something? Why are we talking like this? She didn't talk like this in any of the other videos. Where is this accent coming from? It's not relevant, but I'm just kind of confused.
Starting off by saying, I hadn't heard of August until these videos came out, and when I started watching his videos, I realized kind of a trend. He's always like, oh my god, do creators not realize the platform, the influence they have? He has this sense of, I'm doing the world a justice by letting people know how awful everyone is.
Okay, that's an interesting take. I like the impression, by the way. I don't think I'm doing anybody a justice by making videos on YouTube. Maybe there's some projection there with how important you sense your TikTok videos are to other people, but I promise you, I don't think I'm saving the world or anything over here. And I mean, what's even the argument here? Is saying that creators who have a large platform should be aware of their influence a hot take? I don't think it is. I think that's just common sense.
And some of the videos are about creators who are making the cheesiest, dumbest skits. And one of them was this kid blowing up a plane, threatening to blow up a plane to get out of a test. And then he was like, oh my god, what if a kid watches this and then thinks it's okay to blow up a plane? Bro, It's not that serious.
Alright, so this is in reference to Darman's Mischief Mikey video. You know, where Mikey makes a bomb threat to a plane so he doesn't have to take like an English test or something. If you scrub through that video, you won't find a single instance of me saying, what if a kid sees this and thinks it's okay to blow up a plane? See, what Bethany's gonna do this entire video is just say things and think that as long as she says them, nobody's gonna go check it to see if they're true. This is a pretty silly strategy to employ against the person who made these videos, because I know for a fact I never said anything like that. The point of that video was me saying that Darman has this kid who commits an act of domestic terrorism, and his punishment is he gets to go to juvie with his best friend. And then the judge releases them after like 2 days, and it's all hunky-dory. I am in no way saying that I think Darman is going to promote children to become terrorists. If you watch that video, it was very clear that my point was Darman is making very light of these things to an audience full of nothing but very impressionable children. I'm assuming Bethany is also missing out on the context of who Darman is, this guy who acts like he's promoting all of these positive life lessons and is changing people's lives for the better, all while making a video directed towards children, where the idea is that domestic terrorism is a joke and jail is fun as long as you've got friends there, which, yeah, I think is a bit strange.
It's not that serious. If a kid were to watch that and be like, oh, I'm blowing up a plane, I'm sorry, but they got some underlying mental issues. Like, August, what influence do you have? Seriously, what influence do you have? All you do is point out everyone's flaws, and your followers are a group of internet trolls who are sad, pathetic, and lonely, and then go to the people whose videos you make about and just bomb them with hate. What influence do you have? What are you doing?
Did you hear that, guys? You're all sad, pathetic, and lonely. You're nothing but a bunch of trolls. I went back and looked at the TikToks that I talked about in my video, and there were like 2 comments that mentioned me. I think just most people that saw that video you made did not like it, so they left a hateful comment. I don't really know if you can put that one on me. I think in general, and especially in the commentary community, I have one of the more healthy communities. I see very little toxic behavior in this community. I've always made it a point in my videos to never attack a person for their looks or things like that they can't control. It's always about what they say and what they do, and I think the people that watch these videos operate pretty similarly. If you go on the internet and you say something stupid and you get called out for it, it's not hate.
It's hard for me to have respect for him because I know what he does. He literally scours the internet searching for people to crucify. He probably saw my video, got tagged in it a bunch of whole times. I never stood a chance because the whole time when he was seeing that, all he was thinking of was content, content, content. What can I slam her for? And I think the topics I talked about were deeper. And the fact that he probably didn't do any research on me, he doesn't know me at all. He never talked to me as a human. He doesn't know anything. That was just a crappy video to make.
Alright, so this is something I've heard quite often, and I'm going to kind of give you guys my insight on it. As a person who does YouTube for a living, this is my job. I've got a pretty decent sense most of the time about what topics that I cover are going to do pretty well, and what topics I do that are maybe not going to do so well, and for the most part, that's rarely ever a factor on if I'm going to make a video or not. I like to make videos on things that I think are worth the time talking about. Bethany, I don't mean this as a diss towards you, this is not meant to be mean, but you're not exactly hot news or anything. Okay, when you made that video, it didn't really blow up, you weren't going viral all over the internet, people weren't making videos on you left and right. Honestly, I didn't see a single other video that was made on you. Now, why am I saying this? Because no, I was not thinking content when I saw a small, unheard of TikTok account making a video. What I saw was a person talking out of their ass, saying some pretty dangerous things that I thought needed to be addressed. You can't just say that I'm this evil, vindictive YouTuber who's looking to crucify people. No, you were saying stupid things, and you're an adult, and you should be held accountable for them. That's it.
I never said ugly people don't go through trauma. No. What I was referring to is the day-to-day experience of an attractive person versus someone who is not attractive is completely different. When you are attractive, you naturally attract a lot more eyes on you all the time. A lot more insecurities are triggered, and it is more dangerous for you.
Yeah, the danger. I forgot about that, Bethany. So if you look at my video that I made on her, what you'll see in the comments is not a bunch of sad, pathetic, lonely people making fun of her appearance like she would have you believe. What all of the top comments are about, and what most of the comments are about in general, is the fact that she said that if you're ugly, you don't have to worry about sexual crimes being committed against you. Something that she's not going to address during her entire response. Thanks for bringing that one up, Bethany. I almost forgot.
Growing up, I didn't think I was special, let alone beautiful. And I did see everyone for who they were rather than their physical appearances. I just wanted to be nice to everyone. Growing up, I kind of got a sense that when I walked into a room, people started to act different. It was like all eyes on me. There was a lot of attention on me. People acted strange. People were very overly nice. That's the first clip he has of me saying nice. But when I mean nice, I mean, it's like everyone has you in a false reality. When you walk into their room, their real conversations stop and it's targeted towards you. And you think, okay, whatever. So you start opening up to them. And then you realize that they're just listening to find the insecurities so they can constantly point them out. And every time you mess up, they point it out to try to humble you and bring you down a pedestal notch in their mind.
Bethany, I'm gonna throw a flag on the play here. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't believe you. Okay? Like, come on. Nobody did this. When you walked into English 3, people weren't like, oh my god, is that Bethany? Like they turned into some sort of sleeper agent who's designed to do nothing but bring you down. I mean, come on. This is why I called you narcissistic. Because you genuinely seem to believe that everybody's world is revolving around you. I promise you, and this goes to everybody listening, including myself, people do not care about you anywhere near as much as you think they do. 99.99% of the time, everybody's in their own head about themselves. They're not paying you this much mind, Bethany, I promise.
Whether you think I'm an obnoxious bastard or not, I think those videos proved my point more. Look at a majority of the comments. They are all hate comments targeted towards my looks, my personality, trying to humble me. And it's rude. Do you not see how big of a hypocrite it is? I am not in other people's comments spending my time of the day leaving negativity. I don't do that.
Okay, so I don't really know if this is in reference to the videos that she made or the videos that I made, because after the first few minutes, she kind of just stops talking about anything that I said, and she basically just goes on to repeat everything she said in those first 2 videos. This is not a very good response, but if she's talking about my videos, once again, most of the comments are talking about how insane it is of you to say that sexual assault does not happen to ugly people, and that if you're ugly, you don't need to worry about it. Again, that's what most of the comments on my video was about. They had nothing to do with trying to humble you.
For everyone giving me hate over that video in the part where I say attractive people shouldn't be friends with ugly people, you do understand what I was saying, right? If not, let me clarify. I was not saying attractive people can't be friends with ugly people because of a physical thing, like, oh, they're bad.
Alright, so she's gonna go on to say here that it's not specifically because a person is physically ugly that an attractive person shouldn't be friends with them. It's because if you are around people who are miserable, you're gonna be miserable yourself, and saying that isolated is fine. You should try and surround yourself with happy people if you can, but the implication that all people who aren't conventionally attractive are unhappy and miserable, can you really not see the problem with that, Bethany?
No, it's usually the mindset associated with that person, because I've met, as a general broad speaking, beauty usually radiates from the inside out. It's a mindset thing. You take someone who is wearing dirty ass clothes, who is 400 pounds, hasn't showered, smells like crap, goes to work, just comes home and eats more, is lonely, sad, doesn't do anything with their life. When you're around that person, it's going to be miserable because they're miserable.
Bethany, you're pretty close to what you're trying to say here, but the problem is that you're acting like only people who are 400 pounds can behave this way. You can be skinny, you can even be conventionally attractive and still be a miserable person. That's what you're missing out on, and that's why you seem like such a shallow child. This can apply to anybody.
Their work ethic is actually garbage. They will complain the entire time. They never want to go anywhere, do anything. They don't want to change the way they live. They are content just sitting in front of a TV all day.
Bethany, do you hear yourself? Guys, you heard it here first. If society deems you not conventionally attractive, then you have no work ethic. You never want to go out and do anything. You're a loser. All you want to do is sit in front of a TV. And you can't argue with that because Bethany said so. Bethany, you're obviously not very mature, and you're just not ready to be making these kinds of statements because I don't think you realize how harmful they can be.
The reason why attractive people are usually attractive is because they take care of themselves, because they prioritize eating healthy, going for walks, working out, having fun, being positive. They have a positive mindset. As a rule of thumb, the attractive people I've met have been incredible frickin' people. They have goals, they're problem solvers, they don't enjoy being around negative people, they're very nice and compassionate, but they also don't take shit from anyone, and they have huge boundaries. They will give you advice on how to become more successful. Why? Because they're not terrified of you succeeding. They want you to succeed. They want to see other people doing great too, because they understand there is enough light in the world for everyone.
Bethany, it is very, very clear that everything I said to you in that first video went straight over your head and then like 6 states over, because you actually seem to have come out of all this with a worse mindset. I mean, I don't think you can hear yourself. If you genuinely go your entire life thinking that if someone is not conventionally attractive, that they are completely devoid of any positive personality traits, and as long as somebody is pretty, they're going to be a great person, they're going to have an awesome work ethic, they're going to be the best friend you could ever ask for, you're setting yourself up for failure. Maybe Darman can make a video for you, since you seem to enjoy his videos quite a bit, about not judging a book by its cover. Have you ever heard that one, Bethany? It's a pretty old one, and it's a little cheesy, but I think you should maybe take it to heart. You seem to be very caught up with the superficial and materialistic things in the world. You talk about only living once, so why should you not make the most of it? I agree, and part of that is not being a douchebag to everyone around you because you automatically think they're a bad person because they're not pretty to you. I was hoping in this response you would clarify some of the things you said and actually address what I said about you. Instead, you just doubled down and you seem to have gotten worse. I wish you luck moving forward, Bethany, but I don't think it's gonna help you. Well guys, what are your thoughts? What do the sad, lonely, pathetic trolls who watch these videos have to say? Bethany, if you'd like to make a video where you actually address all the insane things you said, instead of just insulting me and my community with baseless statements that make you feel better, that would likely be a better place to start. I genuinely hope for your sake that you grow out of this ideology. Doing so will definitely benefit you down the road, but I don't have my hopes up. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and walk on over to that subscribe button and touch it. It's free. It won't cost you anything. But for now, that's all I have for you today. Bye.